Okay, so we need to finish up Act 2, Scene 2, just to make sure we're kind of understanding what's going on here. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern inform Hamlet that there's some people that are coming into the city. Who are these people? What are they? Performers. What kind of performers? A play. Yeah, play actors. Ah, so we're about to have a play inside a play, yes? Seems like Shakespeare kind of likes that movie. He's done it at least in a few of his other plays. I think of A Midsummer Night's Dream where he does that, yes? You've seen that one? Rather comic effect. Anyway, as we go, we find out that, let's see, let me make sure I'm in the right spot here. The players are proposing to put on a performance, okay? And let's see. Hamlet wants to find out whether or not these players have any real, ability, and so he asks one of them to kind of give him an example of his performance. Okay. Hamlet says, "I heard thee speak me a speech once, but it was never acted. Or if it was, not above once for the play, I remember, please not the million. 'Twas caviar to the general. But it was as I received it, and others, whose judgment in such matters cried in the top of mine, an excellent play, well digested in the seeds, set down with as much modesty as cunning. I remember one said, there were no salads in the lines to make the matter savory, nor no matter in the phrase that might indict the author of affection, but called it an honest method, as wholesome as sweet, and by very much more handsome than fine. One speech in it I chiefly love. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido, and thereabout of it especially, where he speaks of Priam's daughter. If it be in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. The rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast, it is not so? It begins with Pyrrhus, the rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the night resemble, when he lay couched in the ominous horse, hath now his dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal. Head to foot, now he in total gules, horridly tricked with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, baked and impastured with parching streets, that lent a tyrannous and damned light to their lord's murder, roasted in wrath and fire, and thus oversized with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles, the hellish Pyrrhus, old grandsire Pyrrhus seeks. So proceed you. He's practically giving the speech out himself, yes? Trying to lead this player on. Polonius, though, in his little response, seems to kind of applaud him. "For God, my lord, well spoken with good accent and good discretion." Like he's kind of sucking up to him a little bit there, yes? We find that the actor then takes this on and begins the speech. And again, it's something that's really over the top, right? They're just playing it up very, very much so. Hamlet wants him to proceed on to discuss the part about Hecuba. And this is where the player then sort of comes into his own, is he delivers this part of the speech and does so with a great, show of emotion, and, done this extremely well. Run barefoot up and down, threatening the flames with bison room, a cloud upon that head, where late the diadem stood, and for a robe about her lank, and all her teem'd loins a blanket, and the alarm of fear caught up. Who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped, against fortune's stake, would treason have pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport, in mincing with her sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would have made milch the burning eyes of heaven, and passion in the gods. Polonius says, but whether he has not turned his color, and has tears in his eyes, prithee no more. So this actor is able to, to speak of the death here of Hecuba's husband, the murder, right? And so, is able to bring out the tears and to look all pale, and, wow, that's some fine acting, yes. 'Tis well, I'll have thee speak out the rest of this soon. Good my lord, will you see the players well bestowed? Do you hear? Let them be well used, for they are the abstract and brief chronicles of the time. After your death, you were better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you live. So, Shakespeare cannot possibly miss the opportunity to sort of enhance the standing of play actors. It'd be better in life for you to have a bad epitaph on your tomb after you're dead than it would be to have these players speak badly of you while you are alive. It's a little bit of self-promotion there, yes? Of course, Shakespeare can't help but throw that in from time to time. In any event, it is in this, seeing this performance and watching this man portray this, and again, he's an actor. This is all just something that's made up. But he's able to demonstrate that level of feeling and devotion to it, yes? It is that, and the only reason I kind of bring all of that out and let you understand that, but again, because I think it's a little difficult sometimes to come at if you're not seeing, if you're just reading it on the page there, sometimes it's a little tough to work your way through. I use that to kind of preface this bit for this next soliloquy of Hamlet's, where he talks about how this guy is actually performing with Hecuba, performing this role and talking about Hecuba and putting such emotion. He's going to liken that to his own condition, his own problem that he has for the moment here. And it is this particularly long soliloquy here that we see on page 49 through 50 that I want you guys to get together and work through. So what I want you to do is just to partner up, grab a partner. Everybody should have at least somebody here. And I want you to work through this particular soliloquy. Make sure that you understand what he's saying throughout it. But I would also like you to compare what he's saying here, some of the things that he's saying, with some of his other longer speeches, bits of dialogue, and maybe some of his other soliloquies. His soliloquy at the end of Act 1, Scene 2, that began on page 10. It runs through 11. And then on page 50. So compare those three things.
Run to the office real quick. I left the door open.
Okay. I would like you to compare this speech from this particular scene, okay, with these other page 42. using these, be able to write down, explain what these soliloquies indicate about Hamlet's state of mind, pull details directly from the text, and see if you can kind of, put some of these lines together in conversation with one another to make some statement concerning Hamlet that you would then support. This is just a good, exercise in making interpretive statements about literature and then using textual evidence to back that up. So work together with a partner, and I'll give you a few minutes, and then let's see what we can come up with. Go ahead.
Like a partner, or we let it be in?
Just, no, partners. You and one other person. Try the best to what you need.
This is what we're doing.
And 10. You just pull lines from all three of these speeches. See how you can
This is what we're doing.
tie them together.
That'll be noticed. What was the second?
Does it start on 40 lines? This one right here?
So we're looking at what he begins on page 49 and 50. That's the one that I want you guys to make sure you understand. But compare it back with the things that he was talking about on page 42, right here, at the top of the page. Okay? What if he's a workers' man? All of that. Kind of read through some of that yesterday, right? And then all the way back to even the earlier page 10.
Talks about,
Yes. Practice with your very first sentence would be a kind of topic sentence, a statement that you're making concerning Hamlet, and then you're using these details as your obvious evidence. If you can do that, I think that would be the best way to do it.
So should I do it out of here or try to?
Just do it in your notebooks. I need to put you and your partner's name. Just put your partner's name, whoever's writing it down.
What did you say that they mean by pregnant?
Okay, well, the word pregnant means, first of all, going to have a baby.
Yeah.
right? But it will also carry with it some other meanings as well. For example, it may suggest that,
Indifferent to.
yes, in the sense that he's using it, he seems to be very indifferent to the task that he's supposed to do. You know, the idea of getting revenge, he just can't seem to get himself going. But I think the word keeps popping up, doesn't it? They're interesting.
So this one, right here, it starts on 10 goes to 11, or up here?
Yeah. State of flat and unprofitable seems to me all the uses of this world, all that, right? These lines kind of echo one another quite a bit, I think.
Something I've noticed is he's still going over his father's death. He compares himself in both of them, first with something, Hercules this time to Hecuba. I mean, part of it is, yes.
That's one. Tissues. I already
Yes,
heard this.
you should.
Why would I?
Because you're the one who needs them.
Yeah, but,
I am in no need of tissues.
well, you're sick, you might be.
Well, when that comes, then I shall. Back to your task.
What do they call it? Soliloquies?
Yes. Oral speeches. Nobody's there except them to be successful. Sure. I'm saying what we're doing here, it's fine.
That still says he's in an unstable state of mind because he's having a hard time controlling himself.
Where's this one?
So he says all this good stuff about abandonment, he says, they know it's not people. They don't do anything. So it's very distrusting. So, more suicidal here, he says, makes a statement of this. So therefore, it's untrusting. Reduced to.
Or should I put the one? Whatever it is, he says. It's the same. Oh, that is. Two, solid, watch, one, sure, yeah, but I don't.
Yeah, because the reason is like that, so it's like kind of salaries and then,
Yeah.
like, he said, this is the, that's the school.
Yeah, okay, and then.
And I do one that has, it's like 10 minus 2 to the first. And then.
S-O-L. Give a couple more minutes, give it a minute or so to wrap up. I want us to discuss in just a minute or so, so we have a few of these that we can kind of share out with each other. They'd be beneficial to us all, right? Okay. Hey, looking at the lines on